Welcome to the Sports Bros Podcast, featuring the almighty B-Live, the money man Scotty D, and your host, the head of creative Eddie Cool. The Sports Bros Podcast, by the fan, for the fan, talking sports just the way you like it. And without any further ado, let's give it up for the Sports Bros. The weather is nice outside, and on your airwaves or your iPod or however the hell you listen to us, it's nice here as well, too. Welcome to another episode of the Sports Bros Podcast, your favorite sports podcast. I go by the name of the HOC up in here, Eddie Cool, head of creative, running things, kind of, sort of, not really, but like I said before, I cannot do this by myself, and no, AI will not be taking over the show. I ain't paying for no blue check, and I'm just be careful with my choice of words, if you know what I'm saying. I'm introduced two of the best co-hosts in the world. Introducing first, the almighty B-Live.
What's happening? What's going on in the world today? Man, oh man, if we were looking, I'm not even gonna do that. I'm gonna say this before we even get started. These playoffs have been amazing. It's been a good watch. I just feel bad that we're old and our bedtime's a little shorter than earlier than what they are. I understand in the West Coast. We know there's an East Coast bias, but man, it's tough watching games at 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. It just is. And I know it's tough for y'all to watch Monday Night Football at 5 o'clock in the afternoon because we experienced that before, and it was just weird. Watching Monday Night Football while the sun was still out.
I love it.
We almost missed it, though. We
did, yeah.
We almost missed it. But I digress. Go ahead and introduce the other guy. He fell asleep while watching the game last night, but he woke up just in time.
I didn't.
He wanted to, though.
I did.
Go ahead and introduce the AARP representation of the show.
And with that being said, he is the other guy. He is the pride of Washington, Pennsylvania, and pound for pound, the toughest lunch personnel in all of Washington County. Neighboring schools, y'all better watch your back for the one, the only, the money man. Plop potatoes on your tray, Scotty D.
Sunshine on my shoulders makes me happy. And I can't believe that I'm actually getting sunshine. Western Pennsylvania has been brutal. Eddie, you ain't far. You have to be. It's brutality up here with the rain and cold weather we've been having lately. And summer popped its head in the door there for a couple days, and then it was right back to rain and cold. And now I'm hoping we are out of the woods here, but we finally, it's starting to feel good here. It's starting to feel like baseball season. And just to address Beli's point, I am a little bit older now, and there was a day that I would step and watch the end of every late sporting event. But I am now of the opinion that schools on the East Coast should have a 2-hour delay the day after Laker playoff games, because it was a rugged wake up to get to that cafeteria this morning, because I was at game one. I said, I can't do it. Going to bed. I'll read about it tomorrow. Maybe that's game two.
So you want to stunt the educational growth of our youth?
Hey, listen, Cincinnati is willing to close schools altogether the day after the Super Bowl for the possibility of win. All that is for a 2-hour delay. It's the Lakers and it's the playoffs. Just give me 2 more hours of sleep time, baby. Oh, that's not true. People do care. And my plan, I got to admit, my plan after game 4 was to go to bed at halftime. And I started talking to my mom, and once the third quarter kicked on, I was like, I'll watch a little bit more. But then the game was good. The game before, the Lakers won by 30. I went to bed. But this one was good. I was like, I will kick myself if I get up tomorrow and it's like a 1, 2, 3 point type of game, and it was that. So anyway, that's going to be a lead in, Eddie. I'm giving you this segue right back to you to kick us off here at the top of the order.
I'm trying to grab it and not fall out of my chair. Speaking of the game that was late played, let's go ahead and quit BS and hop right into it. The top of the order. All right, let's get this thing started. Here it is, the top of the order. Well, let's go ahead and talk about the game that we all stay up for and watch last night. B-Live was active in the group chat. Scotty D was fighting sleep like a 3-year-old. and me, I was getting back from a long day of work at the radio station, and I decided to cook a pot of chicken bog while the Lakers was playing. The chicken bog was phenomenal, by the way.
Oh, taking the South up north.
Yes, sir, but I had to have me some chicken bog. I was craving for it, but we'll share recipes and pictures and all that fun stuff later. The Lakers are up 3-1. They defeat the Golden State Warriors 104-101. Lonnie Walker doing his thing, coming into the game, electric, on fire, 15 points, and making it happen. So the question that I have for you fellas, can the Warriors fight back? They can't fart back. Can the Warriors fight? Because it'll be stinky. Can the Warriors fight back? Or is it a done deal? What say you, Scotty D?
Oh no, I think the Warriors can, just because they are so deep with their 3-point shooters. But the Lakers are going to have to. I really expect the Lakers are going to probably go to Golden State and have to go back to home to win. I'm not expecting the Lakers to win Game 5. The Golden State's just too good. They're too proud. And they're going to give everything they got at home in front of their crowd. And I fully expect them to play with a little bit of desperation, possibly even run the Lakers off the floor in Game 5. That's why the Lakers must win Game 6 at home. They have to. But the Lakers are going to need a little bit of help, because it seems like the Anthony Davis games that he's playing really well, those are the ones they win. When he's not playing as well, they don't do as well here in the postseason. And in Game 4, he had a great first half, and then, like you said, Eddie Cole, it was Lonnie Walker to the rescue in the fourth quarter. They haven't been getting the big contributions from Austin Reeves. He was him against Memphis in the very first game of the playoffs on the road. He hasn't been him or that guy or whoever he thinks he is very much, because he's been cold. But the Warriors have been cold too. So I think their biggest problem is Anthony Davis, with him not being as much of an offensive factor in that game on Monday night. The Warriors were in it. They had a chance to win, and they were right there. A couple shots didn't go down for the Warriors, and the Lakers really helped the Golden State cause with a lot of like clumsy play in the fourth quarter, a lot of turnovers. I heard Van Gundy kept saying they're not even trying to get Anthony Davis involved. Yet I saw them try to get the ball to him on 3 straight possessions and turn it over on all 3 of those. I felt like they were trying to force the ball to him rather than taking what was there. But LeBron still looks like LeBron. He hasn't looked like he's lost his legs much. It probably helps when you get a blowout win and you get a little bit of extra rest in the fourth quarter, because these games are every other day. They're not getting those 2 and 3 days in between games and load management. So they got to have. I think the tired legs could show up in Game 5. Golden State's going to be out of their minds. I think it's going to go back to LA for Game 6. The Lakers got to win that one there. They got to play with that same type of desperation, because you don't want to be in Golden State for a Game 7, because then anything can happen. Be live. Are you even watching this series? This is the interesting one. Are you watching this one?
Of course I'm watching it, but I'm disgusted. I'm absolutely 100% disgusted. Scotty D lied to y'all just a few moments ago when he said he stayed up because it was a good game. No, it was not a good game. It was sloppy. It was messy, especially on the Warriors side. And I was so upset. Scotty D, I'm surprised that you said it was a good game. Watching the Golden State Warriors.
Okay, it was a close game. It was a little bit rickety along the way. Yeah, for sure.
Like seeing what Klay Thompson throw up a 30-footer and a 27-footer off of his back foot, one arm, it was a mess. There was 2 separate times where Draymond Green had the ball, nobody in front of him, 4 feet from the basket, and threw it 25 feet out to somebody that was not even open for a three-pointer or turned over the ball. Attack the basket. I don't know
DiVincenzo did it too, B. DiVincenzo did it as well. So I agree with you.
Sickening. It is absolutely sickening. And I don't understand, like, oh, Steve Kerr, are you not seeing this? I understand you got two of the most dynamic shooters that this game has ever seen, but you've got to say that 2 points is more than zero. You've got to see this. It is terrible watching this.
You're speaking my thoughts.
That's what I'm like. It's awful. It's awful to watch. And yes, you've got 4 rings in your catalog. Yes, it seemed like it's worked before. 2 of them was with Kevin Durant. That was just ridiculous. Nobody could touch them. But the last one that you got last year, yes, it was when they fall, when the shots go in, it's a beautiful thing to see. When they don't, it's ugly. It's god awful. Live by the 3, die by the 3. You're dying right now. You're absolutely dying. Draymond Green has got to have some type of foresight to just attack the basket because the Lakers are not afraid of him at all. They're surrounding all the other players. He's doing Draymond Green things. He's grabbing rebounds. He's pushing the ball, but he's got to be able to. He's got to think at some point in time, bro, attack the basket. They're not really even guarding it. They're guarding. There was the last play where he was up in the air looking to pass it, and nobody was looking at him with the ball. LeBron James was actually directing Anthony Davis over to the corner because he had already had the foresight to see Draymond Green's not going to shoot that. He's looking for somebody else to shoot it. And like, Anthony Davis, go stand over there, be in the way, and guess what? They turned the ball over. If you look at that play again, he did exactly that. He pointed him in the direction. He said, go stand over in that corner because that's where he's trying to go with the ball. They've seen it too many times. They don't even care about him trying to score. He's not the best three-point shooter, so they're not really guarding him on the three-point line. He drives toward the basket. They know he's looking for another option, so they're not collapsing. He got that offensive rebound, and he didn't even think about looking toward the basket. He had somebody that was 6 inches shorter than him. He was 2 feet away from the basket. He pivots. That's a layup. He does that twice. The Warriors win that game. How am I able to see that sitting at home and these $1 million, like, come on. It was disgusting to watch. It was disgusting. And everybody's ranting and raving about the Lakers. I'm going to say this about the Lakers. Y'all going to stop disrespecting my Nuggets. But the Lakers are playing Rochambeau of who's going to show up. This last game, D'Angelo Russell, 4 points on 1 of 10 shooting.
Ugh.
Rui Hachimura, 2 points. He took 1 field goal attempt. He didn't show up, but guess what? Dennis Schroeder had 10 points plus 14 on the plus minus. Lonnie Walker, the 4th, 15 points all in the 4th quarter. Like they're like Austin Reeves, he may not be him, but he still scored 21 points.
He did. He had a better game in game 4. He did.
They're getting production almost every single game out of somebody that we just haven't. We were like, who's it going to be this game? I agree with you, Scotty D. It's going to go to 6. Golden State will find a way. They're going to shoot better, but it's not much of a chance. Lakers at 6. I'm done. I'm done watching the Warriors. I don't want to see him anymore because I like Steph Curry. I like Klay Thompson. I'm just tired of seeing dumb plays.
Thing about I made a point about the Lakers, not getting much time in between games and having tired legs, but the Warriors are a veteran team too. I mean, they're not exactly a bunch of teenagers out there either. And they went pretty much from a game 7 right on into this series playing every other day. So there could be a little bit of, a little bit of fatigue setting in on the jump shooter legs as well. I think, like you said, I think game 5 in their own arena, you'll have a little bit of adrenaline and they'll be energized being at home. But it's a grind, I think, going against the Lakers if they got to go back to, going back into game 6, because the Lakers aren't always necessarily relying on the jump shot because LeBron, getting to the rim has always been the strength of his game. We're taking those little short, short jumpers. And AD, when they commit to getting him the ball, is they haven't been able to guard him down low in this.
Oh yeah, they can't stop him. But I'm gonna do something that's very dangerous. Because this is how sloppy this game was for the Golden State Warriors. Everybody's ranting and raving about Steph Curry getting a triple-double. 31 points, 14 assists, 10 rebounds. Everybody loves the triple-double. You know what this triple-double reminded me of? Russell Westbrook.
Pointless. Triple-doubles.
You know why?
Some empty calories in there.
Oh, Steph Curry went 12 for 30 from field goals, 3 for 14 from the three-point line. He was terrible at shooting, but he shot it at volume because they kept going. This was a Russell Westbrook triple-double. That's exactly what it was. It did nothing. They lost the game because he's throwing ill-advised shots. Klay Thompson, 3 of 11, 3 of 9 for three-pointers. It was sloppy. It was ugly. When they go in there, it's great, grand, and wonderful. But this was live by the three, die by the three, and they got to clean that up. Draymond Green attacked the basket. Jordan Poole, get off the milk carton. Where have you been? 0 points. Shut up. If I was in the locker room at the beginning of the year, I might have decked him because you're not the. I think I even made the mistake of coming out my mouth and saying that he was a third Splash Brother. My bad. I am so sorry. That went straight to your head. I need to take a pen and deflate.
Hey,
your ego because
tell us about the Nuggets. Tell us about the Nuggets.
And the
tell us about that one.
And the shove seen around the world.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm actually glad to see this series between the Nuggets and the Suns. Hard fought. Devin Booker is playing out of his absolute mind. Devin Booker is a superstar. Kevin Durant is doing Kevin Durant things. I need somebody, just one person that's an NBA player, is a professional basketball player, to be like, hey, I need to do something for this team. Because the Suns are fighting tooth and nail. The Jokic, the Joker, you put some respect on that man's name. And I'm so sick and tired of this whole. They fined Joker $25,000 for trying to get the ball back to get back on the court. The Suns, just because it was the Suns owner, he's part of the personnel of the Phoenix Suns organization. The Suns should have got a technical for delay of game because that's exactly what he was doing. He knew exactly what he was doing. He was holding the ball, trying to get his player back up to get back recover on defense. He was holding the ball. All the Joker was trying to do was get the ball to get back to the referee because he saw the player out of position. He was like, let's go. Give me the ball. And then he go fight with the ball. The ball flies. Like,
you know what else he was trying to do, B-Live? Make the series interesting. Because while he was doing that, I was watching Stone Cold Steve Austin throw axes into a board.
That's a shame before the Lord. That is a mess. That man scored. I think he scored 51 points that game in a losing effort. But that was just a hot mess. The Suns owner knew what he was doing. He knew this, and I hate to just put a stain on Tom Izzo's name because I was talking trash about Draymond Green. Now I'm talking about the Suns owner who played for Tom Izzo at Michigan State, mind you. Just want to throw that out there. But he knew exactly what he was doing. And I'm so sick. People just, you know what people do? They'll watch something. They'll see clear evidence of what exactly happened. And just because they want to make a story out of it, they will literally say the opposite of what happened. That was a flop. When he's like, why did you own me? Give me the ball. Oh my God. He just, what was that? And then he got
him a point.
Man, it's unbelievable. But this series, I love it. Just because these are the two better teams. I think the Lakers, they're deeper right now because they seem to find somebody steps up every single game. But I think Devin Booker and Kevin Durant are playing better than AD and LeBron James. LeBron James really hasn't done much. He's been more of a facilitator. He'll get you 25 and 10. That's what LeBron does. But he is not taking over a game. I think this was the only game where he led the team in scoring. I think all the other games this entire postseason, somebody else led the team in scoring. LeBron is still doing LeBron things. But I think also more is being asked of Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. Out of the duos in the league right now, the most is being asked of them too, and they're delivering. That's why the series is 2-2, and it's going to go to 7. Lakers going to go to 6, so it's not going to be that much of a difference between who gets a little bit more rest. I think the winner of the Nuggets Suns will win their Western Conference. It's still going to be the Nuggets to me. I think the Nuggets have outplayed the Suns through and through. It's just been the ball has dropped just a little bit here and there for the Suns, and it's an even game. Chris Paul being out, I think, is the best thing for the Suns. He's just that's my honest opinion. Chris Paul, when he's been playing, he's been on the minus side of things. They lost the first 2 games with him in. They won 2 games with him out of the game. That's facts. That's not an opinion. That's exactly what happened. He's out for game 5. We'll see what happens. Cameron Payne is doing just enough to do. I think Cameron Payne could be that difference maker. We'll see. We'll see what happens in game 5. I believe it goes back to Denver for game 5. And I think Denver's going to beat him by 30 just because of how the Suns, I think just because of how the Suns owner intervened and all that mess right there. And the fact that Joker got fined $25,000, I think Joker's gonna put another 50 burger on him, and it's not even gonna be close. They're gonna show him exactly who they are. Durant's gonna be tired. Booker, he's young. He'll be all right, but they're asking way too much of just those 2 players. Somebody's got to step up for the Suns. I think at the end of the day, I think it's gonna go to 7, but I think home wins around the board, and Denver takes it in 7.
Meanwhile, in the Eastern Conference, we have the Heat. They have the Knicks on the ropes, and they beat them yesterday.
That one's over.
Yeah, 109 to 101. Hemi Butler and crew. The Heat are looking like the bubble Heat back a few years ago. They look pretty good. Yep. They look real strong. And then we got James Harden not showing up for 2 games, showing up for 2 games, going to Vegas, probably going to strip clubs. Like the interesting case of James Harden, and somebody said he was wearing something when he his pregame fit. He looked like the Hamburglar or something like that. But look, if you got to be the Hamburglar, you want to come out busting ass like that, you need to get one in every color. You need to get one in every freaking color. So, fellas, the NBA playoffs it's interesting. It is interesting to say the least.
Miami's going to win in 5, but they're going to lose to whoever wins in the Philly and Boston series. That is as much as I love what Jimmy Butler is doing. When they face one of those complete teams that Boston has, or way Philly play. Either way, whoever wins that.
I think they beat Philly, but I think Boston's beating everybody this one. I think Boston's coming out of the East.
I think Boston's beating everybody.
Yeah, but I think Miami could take Philly.
Yep. Real quick, fellas, let's go before we run out of time on this segment here. Let's go ahead and hop into the NHL playoffs. And you know what? It's a whole lot going on over there too.
The what?
The NHL playoffs, the Stanley Cup playoffs.
I'm sorry, I didn't even know they were still going on. Once the Penguins were, I thought they just.
I
thought somebody already won the cup. I thought they were crowned the cup champion. I apologize.
There's no apologies needed because I knew this dumbness was about to come out your mouth. But all I know is
dumbness.
Yeah, I said this dumbness. I saw your lips formulate some because you like NHL Stanley Cup.
Yeah,
and here you come about to say something about the Penguins. Leave. All I know is this. Carolina, please, can we not drag this along to another? Because I don't want this to go to 7. I need y'all to see, hey, can we stop anything through the 5-hole and letting them score 8 goals. That's just a hot mess. There's no defense in game 3. Let's just get back to what we know how to do. As far as anything else going on, I ain't even gonna lie to you. All the other series, Florida Panthers up 3-0. They gonna get a lot of rest. They just said Maple Leafs is going back up. We play hockey down south now. Just let you know, we played hockey down here. Dang.
See that's the thing. The Knicks and the Maple Leafs must learn. If you go to South Beach, do not go out and hang out in the city at all, because Miami is a big, huge distraction. Why do you think the Knicks about to fall apart? They're down there enjoying South Beach. And why do you think
Maybe
the Maple Leafs are about to fall apart? You know, they're like, oh my, they're down there wearing shorts. You know, they like wearing shorts around this time of year. They down there enjoying South Beach. I can't believe they had South Beach as an NHL All-Star. Anyways, so yeah, so as far as that goes, you know, Florida, I would hate to play them. They are playing some real good hockey right now, and they're riding on a high after beating the Boston Bruins. The fellas, the curse of the President's Trophy continues. I told people once, and I told people again, I said, oh man, Boston going to win the cup. Boston going to win the cup. I said, okay. The thing about it is, when you win President's Trophies and you're playing like a high level hockey or high level of any sport, and you chasing records, by the time, you know, you get to the championship game or a certain part of the playoffs, you're going to run out of gas. You're gonna run out of gas, and we're seeing it clear right here with this series between the Maple Leafs and the Panthers. Let's see what's got going on here real quick. The Dallas Stars are down 2-1 to the Young Bucks, the Seattle Kraken, and the Vegas Golden. Go ahead, be like.
I'm about to say, can you imagine a Western Conference final between the Kraken and the Golden Knights, the two newest teams?
I'm here for it.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
That'd be insane. Like, that'd be insane for hockey in general and just those two fan bases, because how rabid will those fans be? They just Seattle just had the whole city haven't had anything to celebrate in ever. It's been quite a while since anything's been going on there, but hey.
So what you're saying is that they are continuing to play these NHL playoffs at this point in time. They are still playing, right?
Yes, okay. Not the entire NHL does not revolve around Sid the Kid and the he's not even a kid no more. Why do we call him Sid the Kid? He's Sid, the almost grown, the old man,
grown ass man. Sid the grown ass man.
He been in the league for quite a while, and the Penguins not making it to the playoffs. So
that's interesting. I'm gonna have to look some stuff up and see who's playing still.
Oh Lord, here we go. And before we move on to our favorite portion of the show, fellas, how y'all feel about Snoop Dogg throwing his name in the hat to buy the Ottawa Senators?
That would be awesome.
Yeah,
it's just weird. Like,
it'd be better. I'd rather have him than Antonio Brown or Abdullah Brown or whatever Asid Brown, whoever he was pretending to be, and when he bought or didn't buy the Arena League. Anyway, Snoop Dogg would be cool. I think. I think he'd be bored. Don't you?
Just
sitting up in Canada with a joint in his mouth at a Senators game.
Well, at least he ain't got to hide it.
I would see him like part owning a spring league football team, because he's very passionate about football. I just never. Yeah. But hey, wherever you want to put your money at, do you? Hey, having a owner that's a minority in a predominant sport, yeah, hey, go for it, bro. Yeah, Snoop Dogg, do you?
Well, I'll tell you what, when I first heard, I was like, this don't make no sense. But I heard him on Undisputed with Skip and Shannon, and Snoop has some knowledge about hockey. He was talking about how he was a Canes fan, and he was watching what's his name, Marcel Dion, watching him play, and then watching Wayne Gretzky play, and then his first music video. What jersey did he have on? He had on a Pittsburgh Penguins jersey in the Gin and Juice video. So, maybe the Snoop Izzle Kizzle Dio Double Geo Bizzle knows a little bit of something about hockey. I mean,
Have you ever heard anybody say they didn't like him? Like anytime you say Snoop, everyone's like, "Oh, Snoop." I mean, for a guy who was like a gangbang and pothead, he sure has come a long way in the popularity department. I don't know anybody that doesn't. You see him on a Corona commercial, you're like, "Oh, there's Snoop." Everybody's happy to see Snoop.
Yeah, Snoop is not one of those guys that you want to go away. You would want to have Snoop around. Snoop is a cultural icon, not just in the music game.
He really is
a cultural icon. Think about it.
I love the fact that Snoop Dogg early in his rap career, exactly what Scotty D said. And now when he's on a cooking show with Martha Stewart, and Martha Stewart is the bigger thug. What has happened?
She's been in jail more than Snoop ever has. He's helping her to get over. He's helping her to get more popular.
It's working.
Snoop is getting street cred from Martha Stewart.
And he's hosting a game show. Wasn't he hosting a game show or something last year or two?
Had a match at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
He's done it all. Snoop has literally done it all. Like Snoop
and done it all high. Done it all high.
Ad-libs at WrestleMania. That wasn't scripted, by the way. You do know that, right?
Yeah.
That was, he's like, hit the Miz, hit him.
The cameraman hit him.
Quad Junior over here. That's what I'm gonna call Shane McMahon, Quad Junior.
Yeah, the world's worst quad. I swear, man. It sucks to be a Levesque or a McMahon because your quads stink. Let's just hope Snoop Dogg have a conversation with PK Subban. You can't be talking about Lizzo like that because they're gonna get you. But enough about that, fellas. Guess what time it is?
What's happening? I think it might be that time. Is it though? I think it is.
Oh, I'm glad you asked this time once again for our favorite portion of the show, the choices of the voices. With that being said, hey, yo, button, hit it. Choices of the voices coming at you right after this on the Sports Bros podcast.
Hey, y'all, this is JR. I just want to say congratulations to my bros at the Sports Bros podcast on their 200th episode. EAGLES Eagles. And shut up, Brian, because I know you want to say something.
And now, our favorite part of the show, the choices of the voices.
Once again, thank you to the wonderful land. Scotty D, watch your ears. Ever so lovely, Miss Button, for introducing our favorite portion of the show, the choices of the voices. You know how we do it. We ask y'all a question. We read your answers right here on the Sports Bros podcast. We throw our 2 cents in, but not before we have a little fun at the expense of our listeners. No, it's all good, clean fun. So don't feel bad, just feel love. With that being said, Scotty D, what's on tap for this week's choices of the voices?
Last week, as we hit like the 1 month mark into the baseball season, I asked our listeners, followers, friends, who do you foresee winning the World Series? I know we're a long way from the Fall Classic, but baseball is legit right now. It is real. It is really happening. These games count. Everyone says, oh, it's too early, but these games count. And last week, them Buccos were sizzling, and then they didn't win again for 7 games in a row. And I said I probably was not going to pick them. But am I? I'll tell you in a minute. Eddie, cool, what do people say?
All right, let's go ahead and hop right into it, y'all. Our Hall of Famer, Uncle Maxie, says, I think the Rays look best right now, but it's still early. And that is right, Uncle Max.
That is true.
Yeah, they were raising all kind of hell the first few weeks of the season. Like, what the hell's going on in Tampa Bay?
Cool, hitting the ball out of the yard. Like, what was it, like the first 21 games or something like that? They're getting good pitching, and they're plus 118 run differential. And people and teams I don't think teams like going down there and playing because it's not like a aesthetically pleasing stadium. It's a indoor stadium in Florida with a roof and that you can't even see the ball in if it's hit up into the ceiling.
And a damn catwalk.
And a catwalk and natural grass. And I think they got a pool.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I tell you what, I look at it like this. It works towards their advantage.
That's what I said.
Yeah, definitely.
Tampa Bay leads the league in batting average, hits, runs, home runs, earned run average, RB. They lead in almost every statistical number there is.
Everything.
Yeah.
But it's
so, 110 of 14 on the road.
Yeah. Like, but we have 126 more games to go. So
yeah,
as can they sustain this? That is the question.
Yep, Tampa Bay, just don't pull a President's Cup on us. Just don't do that. It'd be nice to finally see you win one. So
I mean, in other words, Tampa Bay don't pull a Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah. Don't do like your boys on the other side of town. Yeah, don't pull a Lightning. Yeah, don't pull a Tampa Bay. Yeah, that city will never hear the end of it. All right, you lost Tom Brady, and now this. Wow. All right, Tom Wynn says, well, the stats say teams that start out like Tampa Bay, they pretty much win it all. So Tom Winner Chicken Dinner is going with the Tampa Bay Rays. That's 2. All right. Michael Davis, he says, let's go Bucks.
Okay.
There's one for the Pirates. Oh,
yeah, man.
One for the Jolly Roger, one for the Bucko. Mark Oles, he said, I would like to say the Mets, but the Braves have been doing it with a lot of injuries already. So I'm going to say the Braves.
Yep. I don't know how he put the Mets and the Braves in the same sentence, but I'll allow it since he came to his senses. I'm assuming he's a Mets fan, and it's okay. It's all right. I ain't gonna bash it too bad, but yeah, I'm liking our 7-game lead over the rest of the NL East. It's a nice, comfortable lead. Very nice. But that's me. My bad.
I'm kind of sad because we got Max Fried on the DL. So,
hey, yeah. I'm gonna mention that. I'm gonna mention that in a little bit. I'm gonna mention that because it's that hey, we've got a nice, comfortable lead right now. Get him some rest.
Yeah.
May, June, July don't hurt us too bad. It's August, September, and October. Let's get people back healthy and hey. Shoot. But yeah. What else did the people say? What they got going on?
Rambus Evans says the Kansas City Royals look pretty tough. They're pacing themselves.
Yeah, they're bottom feeding is what they're doing.
I don't know about all that.
Come on, Rambus. Come on, Rambus. You going in the penalty box just because the Kansas City Royals. You actually said that. When are they?
They're 10 and 26 at the moment, and they just lost, I think, twice to the Oakland, or maybe they get swept by Oakland. They lost a couple times to Oakland, who only have 8 wins. The A's are a paltry 8 and 28. They're winning at a 2.22 clip right now.
Yeah,
man. Good to be a Bucko fan.
Yeah.
The Royals are on a 2-game win streak, so I'm assuming that was against the A's. So
okay, they may have won the last.
Yeah. I swear, man, it must stink to be a Oakland A's fan. You're not getting a new building. You got possums and rats running around all over the place.
Oh, they're getting out of there. They're going to Vegas. Vegas, baby.
6 people come to the game.
The question is there actually a pro team that's still in Oakland besides the A's?
Golden State is
they're what, San Jose now or something like that.
Yeah, they're a little north. Yeah,
something. I don't think there's any professional teams in Oakland right now, and besides the A's, and they're talking about going to Las Vegas.
Yeah, the Raiders are gone. Yeah,
they're gone.
Yeah.
Times are tough in Oaktown.
Yeah, man. Yeah, rumor has it that I guess the deal with Vegas fell through, but somebody will find it's some money floating out there somewhere. Somebody will break it. Somebody is. Listen,
the money ain't flowing in Oakland. I can tell you that much.
No, it ain't. It really ain't flowing in Oakland when you can't. I mean, because I remember a coworker told me, he said a stadium I would never recommend anybody go to is the Oakland Alameda Coliseum. It is an absolute dump. And I was like, I will take your word for it. Yeah, so it's
you
it's
got
just
to tell me twice.
Oakland don't be mad at me. It's what people tell me. And if we got any listeners out there in the Bay Area, the Yay area, Oakland, let us know what's going on. Send us a voice message. Just let us know what the hell is going on. All right, Jeffrey Lewis, he says, LA, I'll take some barbecue if the Rays go.
Yeah, I'm assuming he said that. I'm assuming he's meaning the Dodgers because I don't think anybody really roots for the Angels like that. But the Angels are actually. But we said this last year about the Angels, so can't really trust that at all.
Remember at one point that we had all the teams from New York and LA were in first place, if I'm not mistaken, early in the season, and LA quickly dove into the water right down off the diving board after that. So that's what we got to wait and see with that team. I got to see more before I trust them to be a force going down the stretch.
Yeah, I got to see some more too. I have got to see some more too. So shout out to everybody in their participation this week's Choices of the Voices. Scotty D, it's early. Well, who you got winning it all?
Obviously, the Pirates.
Oh Lord!
Obviously, they beat Colorado 2-0 the other night, so that makes them the other. No, okay. Here is where I'm going, and I'm probably going to be right because usually I am right when I'm talking sports. Braves over Blue Jays. That's what I'm feeling.
Ooh.
Braves over Blue Jays. You remember we picked the Blue Jays last year?
I did.
You do not believe in Tampa Bay at all.
It's not that I don't believe in them. I think Tampa Bay could go all the way to the end and win the division, but I think Toronto has a good enough lineup. They have good starting pitching. I think the bullpen's been a little bit suspect so far, but I think that can get shored up. And I think that, if they're contenders, they can be buyers at the trade deadline too. So, what you've seen with them is not the final product. They are 21-14, and they had a 6-game losing streak before they got to Pittsburgh last weekend. I like the way that the Toronto's built. They got thunder in the bats, they got high average hitters, and they got good pitching. So I think Baltimore, they stand between right now the Rays and Jays. I think they'll fall off. I think they're a good young team, but I think Toronto is a little bit more polished. The Yankees seem to be a mess right now. I don't really like much about the Yankees. And the Red Sox, I feel like they're still in that little bit of a rebuild, kind of in between mode. I don't know, that whole division's good. I mean, the Yankees right now are in the bottom of that division at 19-17. So who's to say they don't get, they're going to be players at the trade deadline if they're anywhere within shouting distance of a playoff spot. But I just something about Toronto I like. I don't know. Maybe I'm short-sighted because I picked them last year, and some of these other teams are sneaking up on us. Like the Rangers are right now, they're in first place in the AL West. And if I'm not mistaken, I think our good friend Hunter Simboli warned us of the upcoming Rangers surge last year. He said they were going to be a better team than we thought. But I'm going Jays and Braves, and I think the Braves are good enough to win it all. I think the team's loaded. Be live.
What say you?
Well, before I get into my picks, I wanted to mention that the aforementioned New York Yankees are 2 games above 500, and if they were in the AL Central, they'd be a half a game outside of first place. But they're not in that division. They're dead last of the AL East at 2 games above 500. That shows, and they're 10 games out of first place.
Right.
10 games out. That's going to be very, very interesting. On the other side of things, where my Atlanta Braves are 7 games out and 7 games ahead of everybody. Nobody's above 500. At the end of the day, I'm just going to go. I'm going to go with it. I don't see any reason why. Like, I think the Braves, because they've been hurt and still producing the way they're producing, Like their farm system is second to none in my eyes. They keep bringing up more and more players as players get hurt and developing it. It just like I think our pitching is going to get better throughout the season as players get back healthy. Like the past 2 seasons, the Braves have started off slow and ended up skyrocketing later on in the season. I don't see any reason why that would stop. I think they could. They're going to be dangerous. I think I'm going to pick the Braves to win it all, and I'm picking the Braves versus the Rays in the World Series. I'm going to say this now. Watching the series between the Baltimore Orioles, I wouldn't sleep on them at all. They're young. The Orioles, I think, are following the footsteps of the Braves, and I think they're young and they're hungry. Yenner, I think his name is Yenner Cano. Like he's like a middle reliever, or like he could be a closer. That dude has some nasty stuff for the Orioles, so I won't count them out. But at the end of the day, I don't see any reason why the Rays wouldn't just continue. Like I think they would be in a position where they're so far ahead of everybody that they would just stay right along that course right there. Catch fire at the end and continue to do things. I don't see a chink in the armor when it comes to the Rays. So, but like I said, it's way too early to really make any big calls like that. So we shall see.
Well, with that being said, I'm going to also say Braves Rays. Why? Because Randy Rosarena. Punch your ticket to Randy World, fellas. Yes. Punch your ticket to Randy World, man. He's on fire, man. When he came out, bust up on the scene a few years ago, that let us know that Randy Rosarena was, not a one-trick pony. He's good at it. He is real good. And the Rays, they're pitching. They just, like B-Live said, they lead every day, all the statistical categories in Major League Baseball. So it's no fluke that the Rays could be the favorites. But like B-Live alluded to, Atlanta Braves, that's always been one of our strengths through the last decades, except when we signed Dan Uggla. Ugh, why we do that? Why we do that?
We need
Okay,
somebody,
so we all picking the Braves.
We need somebody at DH better than Marcelo Zuna, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, well,
I'm about done with him.
Well,
I was going to contest. I
was going to say something that would get us canceled. So I mean, and I'm not going to do it. So yeah.
So who do we think is the Braves' biggest threat in the National League? I mean, they look really good. So we're obviously picking them over the Mets. I think a team we have to watch out for that has not put it together yet is San Diego. I still like the Padres. I mean, that lineup is just too stacked. Machado, Bogart, Soto, Cronenworth. They're not hitting that well yet, but I think it's only a matter of time before they do.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
And Tatis just coming back. He's been gone for a year, and he kind of is working his way back in. If they can get their pitching going, I know Musgrove got roughed up a couple times. I think he looked a lot better last time out. But for some reason, it just feels like the Padres haven't gelled yet. But I think they have the potential to do so. So September and October is a long way from right now. 3 seasons away. We're still technically in the spring, summer, and then into the fall. So
right.
That we're going to be seeing all kinds of different things go on between now and then. But I think the Padres could quite possibly.
I think it's the usual suspects in the National League. Your Dodgers, Brewers, really. And as much as the Mets are not gelling right now, you really can't count them out.
No,
but so
they've shown they're willing to spend money. So if, again, when we get into the summer months and the who's the buyers and who's the sellers, that stuff can tilt. They can tilt a race.
Yep, real quick. And with that being said, Scotty D, what's on tap for next week's choices of the voices?
Snoop Dogg notwithstanding, who do you think is the best owner in all of sports? This is kind of a wide range, broad question. Use your own criteria. What you think would make an owner the best owner? I'm sure B Live is probably thinking The Rock, because I know he loves the the XFL type. He's probably thinking of Rock. If that's your way of going, or one of these USFL owners. I know you're a big fan of that league.
It's not even necessary. Like you're
So,
doing the work
sports.
for me. Like I didn't at no point in time did I even bring up the XFL or USFL at any given point in time. But now that you've opened the door, here we go. Like, I mean, the XFL has their championship game coming up this Saturday.
Is it really?
Yep.
Yeah, the Arlington Renegades with a regular season of 4-6.
6.
Going against the DC Defenders that went 9-1 during the regular season. To the XFL gods, please let the DC Defenders need to win, because God Almighty, if the Renegades at 4-6 find a way to win it all.
Are they billing this as the final XFL game ever?
No.
They say who's going to win the final XFL game in the history?
I think they've got it. I think they already have a 3-year media deal. They're not going anywhere, Scott. Let it go.
And speaking of former Cowboys, guess who's getting a training camp invite? Ben DiNucci.
Oh, who? Where?
I want to say the 49ers, I believe.
Yeah.
I believe the 49ers.
He got a training camp invite and somebody else from the
I want to say Austin Prohl, Ricky Prohl's son, is getting an invite. There's quite a few out. You know what? Thank you. Thank you for that.
He can't be any different than Stetson Bennett. Stetson Bennett actually got picked.
I'm gonna switch one of my pepper points just because Scotty D brought it up. I appreciate that.
I can't wait.
Yes.
All right. With that being said, that's been it for Choices of the Voices. Coming up next, a round of pepper. Stay tuned. Hold on to your socks. We'll be right back.
Okay, boys, let's bring it home with a round of pepper.
All right, you heard the woman. It's time for us to go home and get what I call the hell up out of here. But before we go and get the hell up out of here, before B-Live gets to work, go to his gig, Scotty D probably got 2 more yards to cut. He took a break.
Two more naps to take.
2 more naps to take. 2 more lawns to cut. 2 more naps to take. Got to have that nap, man. It's important. Pepper, you know how to do it. 3 topics, rapid fire style. Kind of, sort of, not really here to engage, entertain, educate, and enlighten. I did say engage. Yep, the 4 E's in no particular order. And I'll go first. On this day in history, back in 1967, Hank Aaron hits his only inside the park home run off of the Phillies' Jim Bunning in Philadelphia.
Oh, I love it.
So out of the 700 plus home runs that he got, only one is an inside the park home run. Over to you, Scotty D.
That's crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah.
This is a little bit on our Oakland A's topic. On April 25th, this is going back a couple weeks here, in an 11-10 win against the Angels, Brent Rooker and Jesus Aguilar hit back-to-back home runs, which is rare. But even more rare is they did it in the first inning and again in the third inning. And even more rare, the A's won. All very rare things that took place. But I had to mention something as cool as hitting back-to-back jacks.
Yeah.
Same 2 dudes doing it twice in one game. Pretty impressive stuff for a pretty unimpressive season for the A's. Be live. Over to you.
All right. My first pepper point is something near and dear to my heart, because anything that could poke and prod at the money man Scotty D, it just warms my heart.
You're poking the bell.
And this news comes from the University of Nebraska. Nebraska's Memorial Stadium, as it's so named and so dubbed, holds their football team, which has been sold out forever. Nebraska's always been a storied football program, and there's actually been a record center that's going to happen this year in the football stadium, and it has absolutely nothing to do with Coach Matt Rule. Thank God. Well, The Nebraska Cornhuskers announced on their website Thursday that they actually sold out a game, 82,900 tickets for a volleyball doubleheader that will be held in a football stadium. Women's volleyball sold 82,900 tickets, which will shatter their their current record of 18,755, which of course was indoors. But they're going to have an outdoor women's volleyball game. It's going to be a doubleheader, and it sold out 82,900 tickets. This is a huge victory for women's sports, women's volleyball at the University of Nebraska. Big shout out to the women's volleyball team. Eddie Cool.
Very cool. Very cool.
Boom, the ball.
Damn shame when your women's volleyball team is outselling. Anyways, Matt Root, Lord have mercy. I just, of all things, nothing against women's volleyball, but I'm saying like Nebraska football do better. All right. Second pepper point, Adam Schefter, NFL. You know, he's a nosy little fella, but he's pretty good at what he does. All right. So he announced on Twitter, matter of fact, the schedule release is coming out Thursday, right? Be Live, NFL schedule release?
Yep, Thursday, yes.
Yep, Thursday. All right, Adam Schefter reports, he said, among the changes to the schedule this season, the NFL will have a Black Friday game for the first time ever. Also, games don't necessarily belong to networks anymore. Just like Antonio Brown, all games are free agents, all right? Teams can be on Thursday Night Football twice. Once was enough. And not all teams are guaranteed to have a prime time spot. Damn, NFL. Wow. How's this going to work? Is there going to be like a bidding war for like the Browns and Bengals or the Cowboys and the 49ers and their free agent games? And I'll tell you what's going to be a lot of money spent. Like, if that's the case, then what's the person having a damn network contract deal? I'm just saying. All these free agents. Just whatever. We're looking forward to the schedule release show coming out soon. Over to you, Scotty D.
Evidently, they held back on releasing the schedule because they were waiting to see what was going to happen between Aaron Rodgers and Lamar Jackson. That's true.
That is, yep. I remember seeing that as well.
That was true. Okay, back to Oakland, and they had to say goodbye this past week to Vida Blue, who is a 3-time World Series champion, Hall of Famer, 6-time All-Star with the A's, and in 1971 won the Cy Young and MVP award, a really rare feat. And I believe we saw Justin Verlander do that maybe about 10 years ago, but that's not something that you see happen very often. He finished his career 209 and 161 with a 3.27 ERA. Vida Blue, the legend of Oakland. Happy trails and rest in peace. Be Live, to you.
All right, my second pepper point. Once again, I like the poking prod at the bear that is the money man, Scotty D. And because he brought up the XFL, which I didn't do at all, he did this all on his own, I've decided to throw in a little audible Omaha when it comes to my pepper points and the XFL. Notables that have been invited from the XFL to NFL camps include, as we've spoken before, Ben DiNucci, that played for the Seattle Sea Dragons. He's been invited by the Denver Broncos to their camp to possibly back up Russell Wilson. Also, a couple other notable names. Jordan Thomas, tight end for the Orlando Guardians, has been invited by the Carolina Panthers. Hakeem Butler, wide receiver for the St. Louis Battlehawks, has been invited by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Charleston Rambo, wide receiver for the Orlando Guardians, has been invited by the Philadelphia Eagles. And at the end of the day, it's been upwards to about 25 players from the XFL that have been invited to various NFL camps. The XFL
bring your playbooks, gentlemen. Turk wants to see it. Turk says, Coach wants to see you. Bring your playbooks, gentlemen.
It is going to be very interesting to see who will make it from the XFL to the NFL. Eddie Cool.
Nobody's going to. Go ahead, Eddie Cool.
No, just you that is not interested in this. Just you.
Nobody's going to
Singular,
make it in
one
the NFL.
person.
Nobody's going to make it.
Your
All right.
own team got a dude from the XFL.
Devontae
Your
Turpin,
Cowboys.
USFL.
Your
And how-
Cowboys.
How many
MVP.
more? And how many more?
Off you.
That's one. You said zero. One is more than zero. That's a simple math.
Zero
ladies and
more
gentlemen.
are coming in. Zero more.
Oh,
Eddie Cole, go ahead.
Lord, my
God,
third.
I ain't never seen somebody hate on a league that he doesn't even want to watch. Like, just let him do the boys be.
My third and final pepper point, I want to give a happy heavenly birthday shout out to Pat Summerall here with John Madden. We're coming to you here live at Arlington Cowboys Stadium. How many times have you heard that on Sunday, right? So Pat Summerall, he played 9 years in the NFL before moving to the booth where he was announced, where he has announced a wide variety of sports, including football, golf, and tennis. In total, he announced 16 Super Bowls, 26 Masters tournaments, and 21 U.S. Opens. Pat Summerall saying, have a great night. Happy birthday to you, Pat Summerall. Over to you, Scotty D.
Love Pat Summerall. All right, one last stop in Oakland as Oakland A's announcer
Wow.
Clint Kuiper visited the Negro League Museum. That's how you pronounce it. And then promptly committed career suicide right after that. If you want to hear exactly what he said, go look up online. And while you're there, Google Bob Huggins. Huggy Bear. Be live. Over to you.
Oh boy. Well, my third and final pepper point is directed to the money man Scotty D once again, poking and prodding the bear. But this time it's because of his Choices of the Voices question coming up next week, where we're celebrating and telling who is our favorite owner.
The best owner.
I could tell you the worst owner in all of sports. Now is to the point where he is admitting or maybe saying that he doesn't even own the team anymore. And I'm just going to say this statement. I, Brown, Antonio Tavares, a foreign national but not a citizen of the United States at birth, I'm writing to you regarding recent reports that have been circulating in the media regarding my supposed ownership of the Albany Empire team. I want to make it very clear that I am not the owner of this team, and any claims on the contrary are completely false. I'm going to come back to that with a what happened Wednesday. I'm going to report back on that with a little bit more, because this is absolutely asinine, because he just said a couple of days ago that he was 95% owner, and then the coach quit because he wasn't getting paid, and there was personnel and payroll problems as soon as Antonio Brown started to own the team. But now he's a foreign national, and he cool, get us out of here. And then close it. I can't do this anymore.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Sports Bros Podcast. If you want to be featured in our Sports Bros Podcast, send us a voicemail and we'll read it here. And then closing, do something nice for yourself. And if you can, do something nice for someone else. They'll greatly appreciate it now more than ever. Be a blessing, not a burden. Go outside, open your windows, and enjoy some of this nice weather. It's been another episode of the Sports Bros Podcast. We love you. Thank you for listening to us. We greatly appreciate
Mother's
it.
Day.
Yes. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day, Mama in heaven. I love you and I miss you. And I wish your collard greens in your chicken ball, but it's because of you. I know how to cook. Hey, y'all take care. Love your mama. Bye. See y'all next week. Be live. Take us home.
Happy Mother's Day, sports mama, Myrtle Livingston. Yes, sir.
Now ain't that something? Antonio Brown mentions he owns a team. The coach said to hell with it, and now the team ain't got no money. Boy, if that ain't the most AB of ABist things, stick around for what happened Wednesdays for me. Hey, it's Eddie Cool here from the Sports Bros Podcast. And do you want some more of the Sports Bros Podcast in your life? Wait a minute, don't answer that. The answer is yes. And I know you want some more of the Sports Bros Podcast in your life. Do us a small favor. Go to the description box, click our Linktree link, and you'll see all the links on how to follow the Sports Bros Podcast. Once again, thanks for listening.